Hey there, gang, don't mind the rumbling of any machines that you might be hearing. I have my fan and my dehumidifier going at the same time because the weather is all sorts of wacky in Massachusetts tonight. I have something I want to talk about as I go ahead and spin this little cube in my hands. No particular reason, not relevant to what I'm about to talk about. Maybe it is, but anyways, we'll see what happens here. So, I made an interesting observation today, because today was a really interesting day. But before I get into that, first I wanted to explain part of my psychology, part of my philosophy. So, for those of you who are new here, I graduated in 2021 with a major in philosophy. And ultimately, that didn't wind up being my career as much as I wanted it to. I wanted to be a professor, didn't quite pan out. But the teachings they were and still are what guide me today. So, one of the most important things about that major and those studies was my thesis, and it was a really long and difficult paper to write. Like, bitch, that was 20 pages. It was big, but the essential premise was something along the lines of, basically, what do we know exists in this world? What do we know is true in this world? So you have two sides. You have one philosophical side and one religious side, which some would argue is also philosophy. But on one side, you have the German pessimists, pre-World War II, Reich, and all of that. So these were actually good guys before everything went to hell. So keep that in mind. You have the Germans. And then on the other side, you have the Buddhists. Both of them wanted to answer a very important question, because both of them came to the point of asserting a very big truth. That truth is that there is nothing. There is no inherent meaning in the world. There is no fate but what you make. There is no celestial force. There is no cosmos, which are going to dictate where you wind up in life. So once you realize that information, what are you going to do with yourself? Both of these sides of philosophy, each of them present a totally unique perspective, a totally unique approach. So what do they each say? The Germans said, there is no meaning in anything, so what do? You choose what matters to yourself. You make things happen for yourself. You choose who's important, you choose the things that are important, you select your job, you select your career, you select your hobbies. You create meaning in a world where no meaning already exists. As for the Buddhists, meanwhile, again, same problem, different answer. They said what you should do is wait for the world to turn around in your favor. The world is full of very beautiful things that you're not noticing yet. They don't have meaning built into them. There is not necessarily a deity that presented them to you, but at a certain point, they will present themselves, and one day you'll have them and you can use them for yourself. So that leaves you with the question, which my thesis that I wrote at the time doesn't answer, but I have an answer now. But the question was, which of these perspectives should you follow? So keep that in the back pocket for now as we go into the new story. So once again, both the Germans and the Buddhists said there is nothing and there is no meaning and there is no future. Germans said you build that future. The Buddhists said the future will come to you. So remember that. One question, two different answers. All right? Keep that for now. Now let's move on to the day I had today. Today was really fascinating. I'll keep it short and sweet to keep my point concise in this little vlog or rant, whatever you'd like to call it. Today was insanely special. So one thing I have not spoken about on this channel is I am currently working my way towards a part-time job at a local pharmacy. My current job is great. I love it to death. And I hope to stay there as long as I can because the people there are amazing. I love my work. I respect my work. It's really great. So I'm there for the long haul. That being said, it also doesn't hurt to, firstly, get a few extra bucks to support myself, but also I wanted to get some new experiences, right? I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to learn new talents, new skills, be more social. And I thought this pharmacy would be the perfect place to do it. So today, I already had my interview a few days ago, and I submitted my application, and I need to get some documents notarized. So, they don't, look into my record, and they realize I blew up an orphanage or anything like that, right? So, they're going to look in my records, but today I made an appointment to get my documentation notarized at the bank, then I can upload it back into my application, we go from there, and I'm pretty sure I'm in it. I hope. So remaining a little pragmatic, there's a chance it won't pan out, but for the moment, it's looking really solid, and I'm thrilled. On the other side of today, a coworker offered to drive me back into town because they had something to take care of, and we grabbed a meal together, we talked about life and stuff, and it was a really nice little meal. We enjoyed each other's company, and while we were having that meal, we actually met some old friends of hers, and we got to talking, and my coworker actually told them about the writing group that I started at the local library, which I mentioned a few times on this channel before, right? So anyways, that was really cool. And then we left the restaurant, we parted ways. And I'm like, you know what, before I go back to my apartment, I'm actually going to go ahead and pivot to the pharmacy. Not to, do anything to promote myself or anything like that, just to get a few things to bring back home. So I got some seltzer, as I do. I replaced soda with seltzer, just a little life choice for myself. So I got the seltzer, and I'm talking to the people at the cashier, the register there, and I said, oh, you know what, I'm actually considering joining forces with you guys at some point, and they were really thrilled about it, and so I purchased the seltzer, and I also got a little fidget cube. Might be a little familiar. That's what I've been fiddling with this whole time I've been recording. And then I stepped out with my seltzer, getting organized, ready to carry everything back, because I got to carry it up a big set of stairs, because I don't have a car. Whole other conversation, whole other video, don't worry about that right now. And one of the coworkers stepped out for a quick break. We got talking. Turns out we had something in common, which is really cool, and he seemed really awesome, and then he went back inside to do his thing, and now I'm back up here with my seltzer and my cube. So that was a really amazing day. One of the best days I've had since I moved 2.5 years ago. Just in terms of sheer productiveness, today was maximized. There's no way I could have made today any better. It was incredible. So, how does this tie into my thesis that I wrote in college, right? Once again, to review, the Germans said, there's no meaning, but you can create meaning. The Buddhists said, there is no meaning, but you can find meaning. So what do you do? And that's a question I've been trying to answer for myself ever since I wrote that thesis. And then that spilled into when I graduated, when I first got my job, when I hit that depression I talked about that lasted about 6 months, maybe a little longer, while I was living with my folks, and arguably still when I first moved into my apartment. I was still trying to answer that question. And based on the information that I provided to you concerning what happened today, take a moment for yourself and think, who was correct? Was it the Germans, or was it the Buddhists? Take a second to think about that. Correlate my thesis to the events of today that I just explained to you. Now, once you have that in your head, I'm about to say my answer to it. The answer to my thesis is both alright. Here's how it works. The Germans come first, in my opinion. You need to put in the effort. You need to get things done. You need to put your toes in the water to get the ripples moving, right? You need to put things into action. If you say so, nothing's going to happen. Luck's not going to come your way. So you can get things started for yourself, whether you want to find meaning, whether you just want to earn a few bucks, whether you want to meet new people. You can do that on your own, absolutely. But the Buddhists are also correct, in that things will come to you. There are things that are already in the world that are amazing, that will rock your world, that will change your perspective, and they will come to you. However, they can only do that if you open the door first, if you forge a path, so that way they can find their way to you. So you make a concerted effort to make your life better, to make your life more fruitful. And from there, you will start to find the good things in the world that have already been there, that you weren't even aware of, right? Like today, I made the effort to go out and have a dinner with my coworker. And as a result of that, just by luck, some people she knew were there, and whether it results in anything great or not, she told them about my writers group. If that results in anything, awesome. If it doesn't, hey, that's another chance out there that could result in something good. And then I also made the decision to go today, not because I wanted to promote myself. I didn't plan on talking about anything at all. I just wanted to get my seltzer and go. But I went there anyways. It turns out the conversation came around, and hey, there were some coworkers there, and I struck up a conversation with them. Things just plotted out. You need to learn to put yourself in just the right situations, and that will inherently increase your luck by basic logic. Not numbers, just logic. The more you're out there, the more you plan to do, the more you hope to improve yourself and act on that hope, the more chances that good things will occur for you. Luck is real, but you have to make it real, and you have to believe in it too. It's difficult at first, but as soon as you start making those moves, you start a gradual process. And one day, not only will you make great things happen for yourself, but the world will give you returns. So, the world's pretty interesting. It's fascinating. It's very surprising. So, Yeah, keep doing what you do, whatever it is you do. Keep loving what you love, and you're gonna find even more. And that's coming from a guy who pays rent. All right, I know I say that every video, but coming from a guy who studied one of the most hopeless careers these days and was in a really shitty situation afterwards, I'm finding my way right now. And today proved it. Of all the years that have passed since graduation, today's the day that I understood the answer to my thesis. And hopefully it helps you too. Have a good day and enjoy your week.